7.5x on your money, which honestly, those are like crypto returns, which you really just don't see anymore. And to see that in something secured with property, that's why we're getting people joining us from everywhere. And we've got people from almost every country and every region of the world. We've got our Aussies, we got the Kiwis, we've got people from Oman, we got Saudis, we got people from Dubai, I got Singapore, Tokyo, we got people in North Africa, all across Europe, Canadians, Americans, we got people in Mexico, Mexico City. All these people are comfortable with property and they're also comfortable with London Real. And they know when I put my mind to something and I move to a brand new city, I mean, I'm spending every waking hour of the day either analyzing property or working on the vehicles like the SPVs and the pass-through structures that are going to give you ultimate transparency. So that's what we're doing. Last chance for us to see your faces. We got some Zoom attendees here. If you can't put your name in there, or Kate Jones, if you can turn your camera on, that would be amazing. We'd like to see your face. And otherwise, I'm going to jump in here. You might be getting some DMs. Great to see you, Kate. It's always the good-looking ones, Kate, that have their cameras off. I never understand that. If it was me, I would always have my camera on, But we also got Zoom attendee in there as well. So make sure the cameras are on. I'm going to go fast here, but I'm also going to play you some videos I've never shown before because we have a brand new reality show called Dubai Real coming out that actually chronicles our very first deal. It's 4 parts. I think the first episode's dropping Friday, but I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. So don't share it with anybody because it's going to be pretty good. All right, I'm jumping in here. You're welcome to DM me. Ask me any questions you want. Also, I'm going to ask Zach to reach out to you as well. And so if you see some messages coming in on Zoom, making sure you do that. Also, we've got one of the members of my investment club coming in here right now, Ricardo. So I can't wait for him to jump in here. And Ricardo, great to have you here. There he is, the man himself. Great to see you, Ricardo. Ricardo's been part of our investment club for the past 4 years. And yeah, he's an incredible guy, a great part of that community. And I know he's been kind of peeking at us, trying to see what's Brian doing in Dubai. Well, I'm about to show you, Ricardo, and great to have you here. Also, please meet Zach here, who's on our team in logistics. He's the one that's our touch point for everybody, and he's the one that'll be onboarding everybody as well. So there you go, folks. Again, DM me any questions. I'm going to move fast. I got videos, I got stats. And we're literally closing one of our projects right now in the next 3 days. We had somebody join yesterday and we're actually getting them in on that deal because we move really fast here. And that's what we try to do. We're trying to be getting basically a deal a month for the next 3 or 4 months. And then I want to be doing a deal every 2 weeks to make sure people can keep getting capital and keep reinvesting their capital as well. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to jump in here. And like I said, DM me any questions. You might get some DMs from Zach so he can just kind of find out how we can help you the best. And that's really what this is about. So let me go ahead and share my screen. This is hot off the presses. I actually cooked this thing up this morning. Thumbs up if you see this really happy guy here who is about to invest in some luxury real estate. There he is. Okay. And look, this article really caught my attention because this is the exact area of our current deal. And I'll show you the neighborhood, et cetera. But it was a $29 million luxury villa just sold in Dubai, right down the street from where we're doing ours. And we've seen all of this global wealth rushing to the Gulf. It's really incredible to be here because it's just an exciting time to be here. So I want to talk about that and a bunch of the other stats that are coming through that is really turning this place into the choice destination for everyone around the world. Folks, here's the article. And if you can see it, it's a neighborhood called Al Barari. And Zach here will know the name of that because he's heard me mention it as our first deal. Now, in the first episode of the series, I'm hanging out downtown. I'm by the Burj Khalifa. I'm at the Palm Jumeirah, which is right behind me here. And I'm like, this is where the money must be made because this is where all the hot deals are, the big buildings. And I sit down with a guy named Ben Bandari, who is one of the best real estate brokers in here. He says, no, Brian. He said, if you want to make the big money in this market, you have to go where nobody else is looking. And he sends me out to where I think I'm going to the desert, right? I think my next stop is Saudi Arabia. And I go into this hidden oasis of these like palm trees and these huge greenery and this lake and this river. Feels like I'm in Colorado, right? In my grandpa's old ranch. And all of a sudden I find this neighborhood called Al Barari. There's only 170 units. It's been there for 20 years. And it's where all the ultra rich people are moving because you can't manufacture another 1,000 of these things. And the villa I go see that's in episode 1, I mean, it's pretty stunning, right? I'm getting so used to these luxury properties now. It's like, I don't even think twice. And so this thing just sold. Our deal that we did right now is going to sell when we exit for about 100 million, 105 million dirhams. And again, kind of divide by 5 to get sterling. That's going to be 21, 22 million pounds. Basically, the exact same deal as this, except we're going to make 60% returns on that deal and get it back in 13 months. Folks, here's another headline. Last year, over 500 sales of properties cracked in at over $10 million each. So if you were not sure if Dubai was really competitive with Miami, London, New York City, Los Angeles, it is. It's probably selling more homes over $10 million than any one of these cities. Again, here is an article that I just bumped into in Arabian Business. And this is someone who bought a Palm Jumeirah villa for $3 million, sold it 13 months later for $6.5 million, made 118% return. And so it's crazy, Nikki. I'm getting people they can get 40 to 90% returns because you know that's not possible. And I'm like, really? Okay. Well, I found this random article of somebody making 118%, and I'm here on the ground. So don't tell me this isn't happening, because it is. Now, you can ignore it for 3 or 4 years and you will miss this opportunity, or you could jump in. And that's why I've moved here from London to specifically do this. That's what I'm really focusing on. Folks, here's another thing. Dubai's ultra luxury property market, the deals have now surged tenfold in 5 years. All right, tenfold. And this has no indications of slowing down. And the beautiful thing is, we're not trying to time the market. So I don't really care where real estate prices are in 3 years. We're going to get out in 13 months. And that's the other beautiful thing about this asset class. And folks, here I am at some really expensive homes that we're looking to invest in, and I'm touring. And on the left, you can see me at the very famous Royal Atlantis Hotel. I don't know if you remember, Nikki, Beyonce performed there in 2023 for 25 million bucks to kick this thing off. They don't play games here in Dubai. And on the right, I'm here in Al Barari, in that neighborhood, at a villa that's about 15 million pounds. Ours is actually bigger than that, the one that we're investing in now. And one thing's for certain, Ricardo, if this real estate thing doesn't work out for me, I could be one of these house models, right? I could probably make a few bucks, right? Just send Brian in with the suit. Maybe I can make a little extra change. I'm getting good at it. Folks, here's just want to say this presentation, it's really for information purposes only. It's not intended to be investment advice. If you're looking for that, please go find a professional. Also want to give you this free video, which is how to invest in Dubai luxury real estate in 3 easy steps. I'll give you a free link to this at the end, and you can go watch that training. So who is Brian Rose? It's a great question. My mom used to ask me that when I was behaving poorly. Well, a lot of you don't know that I spent 15 years on Wall Street, really understanding the world of real capital flows. I remember going from Boston. I graduated MIT. I took a big white van and drove all my stuff into New York City, which scared the living bejesus out of me back in '93. And I started working for a bank called Bankers Trust as a derivatives trader. And I started learning about money. And I found something crazy out, Kate. I found out that it wasn't the people that were rich that made the most money. It wasn't the people with the fancy degrees. It wasn't even the people that belonged to those swanky clubs in Midtown Manhattan. It was the people with access to the deals that made the most returns. And a lot of times you'd see the same profile person, you'd assume a wealthy person would get access. No, it's about who you know that can get you in on these deals. And that's really what I'm here to do in Dubai. Of course, I spent the next 15 years of my life interviewing over 1,000 of the greatest minds on the planet, or as my kids like to joke, I became a YouTuber. It's basically what I do now. And now, 1 billion views later, we've now become really known as a global brand with 5 million followers on social. Of course, the last 5 years, I've studied Dubai up close because we've been coming here to invest in the blockchain space, where we made a boatload of money for our members. And of course, now we have a huge social profile, which actually helps me source the deals that are going to make you millions of dollars. Folks, I've also been blessed to be mentored by some of the greats when it comes to real estate and finance. Does anybody here know Grant Cardone? I mean, Grant's really a legend. He's got over $5 billion in assets under management now and all the property he owns. When I met him back in 17, when he came on my show, he didn't even have $1 billion. I've interviewed Grant. I've interviewed his wife. I've interviewed his pilot on my show. And Grant was just on the show a couple months ago. And now he's doing blockchain deals. I said, Grant, what took you so long to figure out, that you should be in Bitcoin as well? So it's been great talking to him. I've also spent a lot of time with Robert Kiyosaki. Does anybody know this man? Anyone ever read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad? It's just a great read. I recommend you read it again. But Robert only invests in real assets. He doesn't believe in stocks and derivatives. He only buys real estate, Bitcoin, and gold. That's what Robert likes. and he's pushed me really to go hard in this space. And of course, Jim Rickards wrote a book called Currency Wars. Jim was an OG on Wall Street, involved in a big hedge fund called Long-Term Capital Management. He actually does war games every single year for the CIA and the Naval Institute, but they're actually banking and currency and financial war games. And he taught me a lot about risk taking. And of course, some of you know Dan Pena, the $1 trillion man. Raise your hand if you know Dan. He's got the castle in Scotland. And Ricardo, I think this is the only known picture of Dan with a smile. And I hear that his team is trying to now delete this from the internet. So take a screenshot now. You might have the only version that's true. But Dan taught me a lot about risk taking and just pulling the trigger. The truth is you can study something for years on end, but until you pull the trigger, you never get the real information. And so a lot of members are joining our club right now. I'm like, look, put in something you can afford, 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand. Watch how we multiply your money and then scale in more as you feel comfortable. But don't just sit there and watch this opportunity go by like you've missed so many others in the past. So why Dubai, folks? Why am I here? Well, it's the #1 destination for global migration, global wealth migration. And I'll show you in the next slide a chart that's going to blow your mind. All right. There's also a severe shortage of what they call turnkey luxury supply. What does that mean? Literally what it means. You turn the key, you walk in the house. I've seen places like this. It's got the furniture. Nikki, it's got the linens on the bed. It's got the plates and the cutlery in the kitchen. It's got the concierge service that's already getting the visas for your gardener and your chauffeur, if that's one of the problems you face, Leonardo, right? It's got your kids already booked in the schools. It's got your Birkin bags in the closet and your supercars in the 6-car underground air-conditioned garage, right? This is kind of what we're talking about. It's turnkey, and these people will pay a premium for that, and that's how we're making our big returns, all right? I know how hard it is to get your family to relocate here from another city. It's nearly impossible. The last thing you're going to do as a billionaire is say, honey, I've got the perfect villa. It's only going to be dirty and dusty for the next 12 months, right? Watch her and the kids stay in Paris and Tokyo and Sydney. No thanks, Dad. Call us in a year. These people pay for these problems to be solved. Of course, this is a market built for high performance returns. Why? Zero personal tax, zero capital gains tax. Raise your hand if you can experience that right now where you are. That's legally, of course. Don't incriminate yourself while you're here. This is really incredible. And it also means it's a place of rapid economic growth. And of course, we've got these cash-rich international buyers. This is this chart I was telling you about. Look at this. 142,000 millionaires relocated countries last year. Where did most of them go, or where did the largest amount go? Guess where? United Arab Emirates, and then most of those came to Dubai. 9.8 thousand millionaires. How many billionaires came, and how many $1 trillion of capital came to this country? Now look all the way down to the bottom, and you see my former home of the United Kingdom. We lost 16,500 millionaires, countless billionaires, and countless trillions of dollars of wealth. And guess what, folks? It's only going to get worse. Why? There's a lot of reasons why. Here you have safety, you have security, you have a country that's on the up. In the UK, it's a broken Western nation that has failed health services. There's crime in the streets. They've got taxes going up with a liberal government. And there's just no way to turn this thing around. And people are tired of it, and they're voting with their feet. And we're going to make money on the back of it. So what's a luxury transformation? Brian, why don't I just buy your average luxury product and not worry about it, and I can just move on? Well, there's a reason. Because this is where we're getting the yields. If you want to make 10, 15% a year, great. You can go buy a luxury off plan, which is one of these buildings that's not built yet. It'll be built in a few years. You're going to make good returns. But if you want to make incredible returns that when compounded over time create generational wealth, this is how you do it. It's called a luxury transformation. What is it? It's a targeted upgrade of a premium property. And I'll show you a case study right after this. What does that mean? We go into a villa that's maybe 15, 20 years old, right? Getting a little bit dusty, getting a little bit grungy. Maybe you and I wouldn't notice, Nikki, but the ultra rich would notice. And we go and we fix it up over 13 months and we sell it for a premium. This is designed to match exactly what global buyers want. And it's a strategy built to unlock significant value fast. This is the key. I don't have to wait 5 years. I don't have to wait 3 years. I don't have to wait 2 years. One of our deals was done in 8 months. 8 months, you get your capital out. That's incredible. And again, That's why we get these high performance returns, and we don't have to worry about where the market is in a few years, which is a great way of de-risking this investment. Folks, I'm going to show you a video right now, but when I saw 40 to 90% returns as a former Wall Street trader, I knew there was something hot here. And as Dan Pena, my mentor, once said, he said, Brian, a deal is either hot or it's not. Just like if you see a man or a woman, they're either hot or they're not. You don't have to run it through a spreadsheet. And I didn't need to run this through a spreadsheet. I knew right away there was something here. And so what I want to share with you is the opening segment of our brand new reality show. No one's ever seen this before. Zach, I don't think you've seen this. I actually literally just got this edit from my director last night. Let me see if I can actually pull it up here. Yeah, I want to show it to you. I won't show you the whole thing yet. Oh, here we go. Yes, here we go. So check this out. This is what I'm doing here, and this is what I've been up to.
History is written by movement. Right now, the largest migration of wealth in modern times is underway, and Dubai is at the center of it. Not by accident, by design. Tax freedom, security, world-class infrastructure. The city isn't just growing, it's accelerating. You can feel it. The momentum, the ambition, the speed. While the West feels stuck in managed decline, Dubai is busy building the future. This city has positioned itself as one of the most dynamic property markets in the world. Built on infrastructure, leadership, and a long-term vision that's actually being executed. If you want exposure to this promising future, real estate is the clearest, most liquid way to express that conviction. And when markets move, luxury real estate moves first. But this is where things get complicated. Because this is a fast market, and not everything that glitters is gold. For every genuine opportunity, there's a shortcut. For every fortune, there's a fugazi. That's why I'm here, on the grounds, asking the hard questions, looking for asymmetric returns, doing the work most people never see. My job is simple: to multiply our money, protect our investors, and only position our capital where the upside is real. Because one thing is certain, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And if we manage our risk intelligently, there is a lot of money to be made. This is Dubai Real.
All right, what do we think? Come on, Nikki, you feeling that? Come on, Kate. Come on, Ricardo, I got that smile. Nicolaj, you're feeling that as well? Come on, folks. And then there's another 10 minutes of me actually going out and checking things out and doing the deal. That's where it actually gets interesting and very didactic. You know, I'd like to think that you're going to learn a lot by watching this. And that's only episode 1. We have 2, 3, and 4 coming after that. And we go through the whole process. Each episode is dedicated to a different kind of pillar of our intellectual property. You know, how we source the deals that you're never going to see, how we put them in these SPV structures that are ring fence, how we get you access to multiple deals over multiple years, and we get you to compound those returns. You know, our job is to solve all of those things for you. So you don't even have to ever visit here if you want, but we are having an investor day on April 27th. If you want to come, we're going to go take a look at the properties. It's going to be a good time as well. So there you go. We'll be dropping that whole thing fairly soon. Just putting the last details on it. My movie director that's actually makes all of our documentary films is working on this. So I pulled out the big guns. Folks, here's that case study that I told you about of something we've already done. And this is a villa on the Palm. Now, what's the Palm? The Palm Jumeirah is those man-made islands Dubai is famous for. They really just literally created from the sea. No one had ever done that before. It's fairly impressive. But this was done 20 years ago. And so some of these villas, you know, from this shot, they might look nice, but if you go down there, they're a little tired. And so this is what we did. We acquired one of them for $7.1 million. With renovation and permits, we spent an extra 6.3. So we'd spent a total of 13.4 million. We sold that 12 months later for $25.9 million. That deal was a 93.8% return. It's actually quite simple. Now, just because it's simple doesn't mean it's easy, but I think you can kind of understand what's going on here and why this is an attractive way to invest in the Dubai market. Folks, here's some other headlines that we're seeing. Again, this MENA region is now at the front lines of this brand new luxury property trend, which is called the wellness real estate market. So no longer is it good enough to have a beautiful house with the high ceilings and all the amenities. It now also has to have a wellness component to it. So no electromagnetic rays. It's got to have all the air filters on. It's got to have all the calming spaces. It's got to have all these things to it. And this region is actually leading that in the space. Of course, here's another headline that came out. And honestly, I see one of these every single day. But the resale market hit 3.15 billion in 2025, and it's cash buyers dominated completed homes. This is different from 5 years ago, where people were buying products as an investment to sell later. These are families moving here to live here, and they demand high quality luxury. Of course, this is the brand new Palm called Palm Jebel Ali, which is being built right down the water from where I am. It's twice the size of the current one. And they're now selling villas there for 5 million a pop. And that's just going to go higher and higher and higher. And of course, we see here that if you drill down into it, you're seeing that ultra high net worth individuals are really looking for this waterfront living. And they're looking for a way of preserving their wealth while they live in these places. So it's a whole different style of buying than was here even a few years ago. Of course, we now know that Dubai outshines London, Miami, and Phuket when it comes to luxury homes. And this is another interesting headline. Not only were over 500 sales more than $10 million, 70 properties sold more than $25 million. And again, this is just going to increase and increase and increase. More people are moving here and they're going to continue moving. Of course, we now have ultra luxury brands like the car maker Bugatti, Mercedes-Benz, and Lamborghini that are now building their own buildings, their towers. And this is something I talk about in episode 1 because they're quite high profile and they're quite sexy to look at. In fact, Bugatti sold their penthouse for 150 million US dollars, the highest sale of an apartment in the Middle East of all time. But as you'll see in this series, I soon find that honestly, the billionaires don't want to live in a Bugatti penthouse. You know, they want to live in a home that is one of one. And so it's really a different market that we're talking about here. And of course, we know that UA luxury property is set for a sustained boom. Honestly, I got 20 more of these I could show you, but I think you get the gist. Let's talk about our latest deal. Super excited about it. It is in Al Barari. It is off the coast. It's in a luxury green area. It's a premium transformation project, perfect timing. And we're expecting, really, it's a 60% return on this deal. We try to be conservative and manage expectations. It's filling up super quickly. We're basically full. But somebody joined yesterday. We're going to get them in. We could probably still get people in. But it's high demand location, and we're going to keep bringing these deals one after the other. Folks, let's do the math because this is where it gets interesting. All right. If we can compound your 50 to 60 to 70% returns annually for the next 5 years, and let's be conservative at a 50% return. If you do the math, and you can do this with a calculator, you take 1.5, which is a 50% return over 1 year, times 1.5, times 1.5, times 1.5, times 1.5, or 1.5 to the 5th power, you'll see that that's going to give you a 7.5x on your money. That means $100,000 investments. That what are you going to do with that this year, Kate? You're going to put it in your bank account and earn a 2% interest, which is less than inflation, so you lost money. Congratulations. Maybe some of you put it in the S&P 500 last year. I know you didn't, but if you did, Nikolaj, you would have made 15% minus 4% for inflation, 11%. Congratulations. If you put that 100 grand here, in 5 years, you'll have $759,000. If you put $1 million in here, you'll have 7.59 million with this type of compound. And this is where it gets interesting, really interesting. And this is my goal for every member of the group. Again, folks, the returns we're seeing are off the charts. And I noticed this, and I knew we had to go into this immediately, and that's why I'm here. And again, the entire London Real community is following us. And honestly, I'm running out of time. Myself and Zach, we're just running out of time trying to onboard all of these people. So how does London Real get access to these deals? It's a great question, and it's not because of my pretty smile and my fancy suits. Let me tell you, the only reason we're getting in these deals is because of our media platform, London Real, with 1 billion views. People know that by putting their properties on our platform, they're going to be able to sell for a much higher premium product, which means if you invest in that Albarari deal, if we can help sell it, I'm going to help you make an extra 10 or 20%. And so there's a reason we get access to these deals. To be honest with you, in Dubai, everybody's got cash. Money is nothing special in this town. So how come we get access to these deals? Well, it's because we bring something else to the table, and so do you. And that's the way I can get you to access to deals that you would never even know they were happening. Let's be honest, even if you lived in Dubai, you wouldn't even know this was happening. It's such a well-kept secret. And you would never, in a chance, have a dream of getting access to a deal like this. But we can through the media platform. And I always say success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Folks, we've been doing this for the last 15 years, and now we're really reaping the rewards by using our platform to help our London Real family and community really create that generational wealth that I think is important if you want to really live a life of your own choice. Folks, a lot of you have felt like Drake on the top here. You tried to invest in property on your own. I don't know, Nikki, maybe you bought 1 or 2 properties and you thought you could maybe flip them a few years later, and you found yourself fixing toilets on a Sunday, right? That is not my idea of investing. No thanks, right? And so maybe some of you have tried that in the past. I don't want to do that. I am offering you a different alternative, which is why we have Happy Drake on the bottom. I'm going to give you a way of investing in these properties through a transparent special purpose vehicle to where you don't even have to visit this city. All you're going to do is get a check every single year, and that's it. That's what we're doing. And it's called the Luxury Property Investment Circle. And it's really simple to join. You go to londonreal.tv/Dubai. You'll learn about this. There's a video. There's a quick thing explaining it, although there's not a lot to talk about. Minimum $10,000 investment, 40 to 9% returns, lifetime access. I mean, honestly, that pretty much says it all there. If you want to join, take 30 seconds and apply. We need your name, your email, a rough idea of how much you want to invest, and about 10 or 20 words on why you want to join the circle. You'll submit that. We'll ask you to book a call as well so we can evaluate where you're at with your capital. And once you do those 2 things, you'll be placed in our queue. Now is when I start to check you guys out. All right, Ricardo, I find to see who's in there. How many episodes you watched of London Real? Have you ever joined some of my courses? Have you been to some of my events? All of these things get you priority, right? And so we accept those people first. And so if you're accepted, then we'll ask you to come on a call with us and walk through and find out if this is the right fit for you. That's how this is done. It's easy. We try to make it so easy to where there's no excuses. Folks, a lot of you know I ran to be mayor of London in 2021 and 2024. I ran on a pro freedom of speech, pro crypto platform. And I did it because I love London. You know, London gave me everything. You know, it gave me my success. It gave me my children. I mean, I love London so much, I named my show after the city, right? But the truth is that, you know, I've had enough. And it's time that I vote with my feet and move to a place that values me as an entrepreneur and a place where I can create outsized returns for my investors. And that's why I'm here. I'll always have a place in my heart. But the truth is that London is old news and Dubai is the new news. And I wouldn't be true to myself if I stayed in a place that wasn't congruent with who I am. This is a place of people that make things happen. This is a town of hustlers. This is a town of grand ambitions. And I love being around that type of energy. I just love it. And that's what we've been doing the last few years. I moved our studio here about 3 years ago. I call it London Real in Dubai. Here I am speaking with Dr. Marwan Al-Zaruni, one of the top guys in AI and blockchain. He actually is the guy that gave me my golden visa. And I've interviewed crypto bros worth billions of dollars who also shot me a little bit about luxury life as well. This guy, Chris MM Crypto, has one of the villas on the Palm. I've really made incredible inroads into the community here, and that's helped me a lot to determine this opportunity. Folks, right now we're going to invest over $3 million into 6 luxury refurbishment deals this quarter. And if you want to be involved, well, there's one way to start, and that is to apply. And folks, it's all because of London Real Ventures. This is the world's first media-powered investment firm. This has never been done in human history. No one's ever taken a media platform like London Real, 15 years of history, 1,000 interviews, 1 billion views, 5 million subscribers, and combined it with a venture capital company with $25 million in capital. You put these things together and magic happens. It's like if you combined I don't know, Fox News and BlackRock. They would find all of these new synergies that would open up business opportunities, but they're not nimble enough. They can't do that. We can. And what you get is magic. And this is our current portfolio of blockchain companies. Many of these have already become multi-billion dollar protocols since we invested. Here's a couple examples. This is called Skillful AI. It's an artificial intelligence company on the blockchain. It was up 20x at the launch and made my group a $4 million profit. Here I am with the CEO in the studio and at one of the conferences. This is a company called Shrapnel. It was up in 20x in 20 days and made my group a $5 million profit. Here's their CEO as well, Mark Long. This is Mochaverse. It's the digital ID system of a $7 billion conglomerate called Animoca Brands. And here I am with Yat Siu, their chairman. I always say this guy's the future Elon Musk. He's a good friend. And this is set to go up even higher. This is one of our big wins called Starly Protocol. It's backed by Andreessen Horowitz, one of the biggest VCs on the planet. This thing's done a 42x. And so one of our members named Jose, I think you know Jose, right, Ricardo? He put 50 grand in this deal and he's sitting on a $2 million profit just himself. And so we're going to return about $21 million in profits to the group. And of course, this is the $1 billion fund we invested in with Dan Tapiero. This thing is up 4 to 8x, which is pretty incredible, even though it's only equity based. Dan is one of the greatest traders in the world. Honestly, if he had made us 25% return on our money, I would have thought it was a home run. But he's come back now with this crazy multiples. And that's going to make us another $7 or $8 million. We put $1 million into this. Actually, we're putting another $1 million into his next fund as well. And that's a pretty exciting time. Folks, right now we've invested over $25 million into over 100 deals. And where the plan is to do another 25 in real estate in the next 12 to 18 months, and then to probably ramp it up from there. Probably hit $1 billion in the next 5 to 7 years. And that's what our plan is. That's what we're going to do. Folks, I was recently voted the best venture capitalist of the year. I accepted this award in Singapore. And yes, Kate, I actually have a pink suit and I didn't even do any Photoshop here. It's that bright. I find the brighter my suits, the more deals I get coming my way. So there is a method to my madness. Of course, I was recently recognized at the Global Family Office Investment Summit with a Lifetime Achievement Award for our content and our investment success. But of course, everybody in Dubai knows me as the old guy that laced up the gloves to fight these young punk kids in the boxing ring. So, you know, I had 2 fights so far. They get younger every time, Ricardo. The first kid was 27. The next kid was 19. I'm like, what are you doing to me? You know? And so we might have one more fight this year and then we'll see what happens after that. But we're pretty well known in the city. And again, that actually helps with deal flow. So how can we maximize our investment returns, folks? Well, I learned a lesson from a guy named Ray Dalio. And he taught us that diversification is the holy grail of investing. What does that mean? Well, mathematically, it's been proven that the more you diversify your assets, the better returns you get over time. It's just math. And so this is one of the portfolios of one of our members. We believe that you never want to put 100% of your money in blockchain. Never put 100% of your money in real estate or stocks or cash. But when you spread it out into different investments, everything works really well for you. And so I believe it's great to have some crypto exposure. It's great to have some real estate exposure. It's great to have some cash, some equities, and some bonds. Really space it out, and you're going to have great returns over time. Folks, we think the greatest way to predict the future is just to go out there and create it. Does anybody try to live their life that way? Ricardo, I know you do, right? For me, it's like I could see sitting in London right now complaining about the weather and the Labour government and their terrible crypto legislation, or I could be here making bank for our members and creating better futures for them. For me, I always think we're just going to create that future, right? We're not going to be told what's happening to us, right? We're not going to play by their rules. We're going to go create our own new reality. And that's what we're doing here inside the Luxury Property Investment Circle. Folks, this is Ben Bhandari, star of our new reality show. And here is me having him on the show about 3 months ago, where this whole idea really came to pass. Ben is the top real estate broker in Dubai, which says a lot because it's a city full of real estate brokers. He's also the creator of $1 Million Listing UAE, which is one of these reality shows around real estate. They're quite fun to watch. And here he is featured on season 2, which premiered here a couple months ago, and it's already one of the hottest things out here. I sat down with Ben, and he really woke me up about the possibilities here. And I wanted to play you a really short clip of that interview Again, Ben is one of the men that's helping me with some of these projects, and it's great to have a guy with that type of a network, with that type of a reputation, helping us out in the background. It also means that we're going to be in a good place, and it's great when you've got these people with these huge reputations because it means that you're probably going to be in a place where they're going to have to probably treat you really well as a customer. And so I always think about these things when we go into investing. I want someone who knows they better treat us and our investors right. And I think a high profile like this is amazing. And this is what Ben said to me.
How did Dubai become one of the top 5 real estate markets in the world?
There's many factors. The safety and the security is next level. You won't find it anywhere in the world. The leadership had a vision to basically attract foreign investment, to bring basically expats here, and to basically expand the culture, the tourism, and the city itself. His Highness, he really is just created a marketing machine. And they've done a great job. I mean, I've seen it all right from the beginning, from 2002 up until today. You have to come here, you have to see it, you have to experience it to believe it.
And we're seeing a lot of billionaires and a lot of other high net worth people bring their families here, invest in properties.
There's really no comparison. You have 1,000 families moving to Dubai weekly. Everybody is looking to come here. Everyone's looking to move here because of tax reasons, because of safety, because of security, because they want to park their money somewhere safe as well. There's so many factors. I mean, the list goes on. We can just sit here till tomorrow morning. Everyone moves to Dubai. The money pours in because of the safety, because of the security, because of the stability.
1,000 families a week. Just think about that. 1,000 families a week. And he's right. It's safety and security. And a lot of you maybe have heard the joke, or maybe you haven't. Oh, by the way, how many people have been to Dubai? Can I just get a show of hands? Nikki, Kate, okay, Zach has, Natalia. Okay, so 2. It always blows my mind. It's like when you're in crypto and you're in Dubai, you think everybody's in crypto and everybody's been to Dubai, but it turns out it's like 5% of the population. So interesting that I'd say 2 out of 10 or 2 out of 11 have been here. And yet I think, well, how many people know that there's something special happening in Dubai? Can I get you to raise your hand there, right? I guess that's why you're here, right? So it's interesting, this has been going on now for 10 years, 15 years. So we know something special is happening, but if people haven't been here, obviously April 27th, by the way, is our investor day. So if you are a member by then, you can come actually here and I'll give you the King tour. But it's really special what's happening here. And once you're here, you kind of feel it. But again, the safety and security, I can take my iPhone and I can take my Rolex watch and I can put it out on the boardwalk next to the beach. And tomorrow morning, it will be there waiting for me, right? The security is just hard to conceive of, right? There is no crime. Homelessness is illegal. It's the cleanest city in the world. When I was out walking the beach the other day, they don't sweep the boardwalks on the beach, Nikki. They mop them here, okay? It's just a whole nother level, right? I mean, I wouldn't know what graffiti looks like. Whereas where I am in London, everything is a piece of graffiti. So look, it's just a different way of living. And it's a great way and a great place to invest in that sense. So that's what I learned from Ben. Takeaways from Ben are the following. Dubai has safety and security. And let's be honest, what city has that these days? Does London have safety and security? No. Does New York have safety and security? No. Berlin? No. Paris? No. Not many places these days. That's a real asset, especially if you have family or if you're female or you just don't like having your watch and your phone stolen. I've had a bunch of crypto bros have been kidnapped, watches stolen, phones stolen in London in the last 6 months. No joke. Actually happened. Of course, leadership attracts investment. The leaders here have a 100-year vision. I ran to be mayor of London. Let me tell you, there's no mayor or prime minister in London who's got more than a 2-year vision. Even the president of the United States has got midterms. Nobody's thinking 100 years out, which means no one's thinking about your money and where it's going to be in 10 years because nobody cares. They're worried about their own stock trading portfolio, right? If you're in America and Lord knows where else, they're not worried about yours. And that's a real problem. So I really appreciate the leadership here. Zero personal taxes. It's a playground for the wealthy, but actually it's a playground for everybody. And let me just make this point. Everybody in Dubai comes here because they can make a better life than in their home country. That includes the Uber driver from Pakistan. That includes the Deliveroo dude from Myanmar. That includes the crypto bro. And that includes the dude from London with a 3-piece suit investing in real estate. We're here because we can do more here. we can make a better future for ourselves. So it's not just for the wealthy, it's for everybody here. Everybody wins. So how do we create outsized returns in real estate? One way, folks. It's deal flow, deal flow, deal flow. And let's not get it twisted, folks. You can come to Dubai and invest in real estate and lose everything. All right? You can lose your shirt in this place because there's 90,000 brokers in this town, right? 90,000. I don't even know what they do. And they all got something they're going to sell you. And so actually losing money in real estate is quite easy to do. But we're getting access to the deals that nobody sees. And again, it's because of our media platform. Of course, I've been coming here for the last 5 years, making relationships with members of government, venture capitalists, influencers, crypto bros. I've been on stage interviewing some of the biggest names in the business. I've premiered our films here, and I've hung out with centibillionaires like CZ from Binance. I know a lot of people here, and this city really suits me. Folks, if you want to win in this space, you have to invest with the best, and that means looking at deals that are getting outsized returns. This is just a quick snapshot of the deal we're working on right now, and it's just a great way to get involved, to dip your toe in, and start feeling what these returns are like. Wait till we compound this for you for the next 5 years. It'll be the single biggest investment you ever make in your life. And again, you've seen the math, 50% return over 5 years. It really gets shocking numbers. Now, this only gets interesting over about 15, 20%. If you have 10% returns over 5 years, it's not bad, but you end up making about not 65%. It's not 10 times 5. It's like, 10 times, 11 times 5. But when you get 50%, the interest you make now makes interest on the interest on the interest. And that's why we get this huge, huge effect. Folks, this is our investor portal. Once you join, you'll get the login. You'll go in, you'll look at our deals. You can immediately ask for allocation. You'll also get an email literally hours after you join that'll invite you to our KYC platform. Now, why do we use that? Well, because we use something called a special purpose vehicle or an SPV so you can invest. Why? Well, what is an SPV? What it does is it holds the property inside its own standalone legal entity. So owners like you directly own the asset while isolating all of your risks to your personal wealth. It's a ring-fence structure, has stronger legal protection, cleaner tax treatment, and also easier financing and partnerships, which helps us with the yields. This is our KYC platform, and it's our SPV. KYC stands for Know Your Customer. You'll have to join, give us a utility bill, passport, answer some questions, and you're in. And you will invest through this vehicle. Once it's invested, I have nothing to do with it, right? Payouts come through this vehicle, and it's all done in a transparent way. That's the way we've been doing this for the last 4 or 5 years. We're quite good at this now. Folks, if you want to create generational wealth, you have to pull the trigger. You have to start watching this, and I'm telling you, this opportunity will go by. It'll go by fast. And it is going to reward the people that say, okay, Brian, yep, this looks interesting. I know you, I'm in, let's try it. And once you feel those returns, once you put in that 20 grand and you get that check, for 12 grand, 13 grand a year later, and you think, wait a second, something's happening here. Okay, Brian, I get it. Let's do this. Let's do a little more. Let's do a little more. That's the people that are going to win. But there's going to be other people that are going to go research it. The last thing you need to do probably is watch another video or read another article about Dubai real estate. You need to actually get in there and get some information. Folks, timing matters. If you wait, you're going to miss this. First of all, our SPVs cannot expand once they're filled. Our current project in Al Barari, I don't have extra for you. I'm sorry. All we have is the property price, the renovations, the permits, the labor, and that's it. I can't put an extra $1 million for you in there. You're going to miss this deal. Of course, early investors get priority. Deals are closing very fast. And once the allocations are gone, they're gone. And let's zoom out a little bit further, 30,000 feet. If you wait 2 or 3 years on this, you might miss this opportunity entirely. Because right now, nobody in the mainstream even knows this is happening. And that's why one of my mentors, Dan Pena, always said to me, he said, Brian, high performance people make decisions based on imperfect information. Does that make sense? Does anybody here, Lionel? Does that make sense to you, Nicolaj? We make decisions based on imperfect information. Why? Because if it's obvious and you've spreadsheeted it 400 times and you see the 60% return, guess what? Every other goofball has already done the investment if you miss the opportunity, right? So there's always a moment of risk when you take a decision. Now, it doesn't mean we don't do our due diligence here. It doesn't mean we don't run our numbers. It doesn't mean we don't check everything. But at some point, you have to pull the trigger or you're going to miss that deal. And unfortunately, I see so many people out there that watch the world go by, right? I forgot that phrase. I forgot the phrase. I'm gonna have to remember it. But there's people that they watch what happens and then they make things happen. And there's people that say what happened, right? I'm probably butchering that, right, Nikki? But like, which one do you want to be? Do you want to watch things happen? Do you want to make things happen? Or do you want to be the one at the end that said, what happened? You're probably, on one of those categories that doesn't make money. What we're doing here is making these things happen. And again, you can be a part of it. Again, this is for serious investors only who want access, not theory. I'm not here to teach you things. There's not a lot to teach here. It's pretty simple, right? I'm giving you access to deal flow. That's what this is all about. It's pretty simple. The structures are simple. Even the concept is simple. You buy something old and you make it new and you sell it to someone else. It's really pretty simple here. People like you want real assets. You don't want speculation. You want transparency, of course. You want an SPV ring fence structure, and you want access to the best opportunities out there. And that's why I'm here on the ground. Of course, the only way to do this is to apply. And if you've already applied, you want to get on the phone with Zach and find out if we've accepted you, and also have a talk with him and find out if this makes sense for you. If it does, great. If it doesn't, we're happy to tell you, you should just keep it moving, right? We don't want the wrong people in here. Honestly, I'm turning 55 this year. I'm too old for nonsense, right? I don't want any goofballs in my club. I want people that are bought into the vision. That are like, Brian, I'm with you. I see the vision. I'm in. Let's go. And so I'm looking for people that really want to be with us for the next 5, 10, 20 years and multiply their money to where I'd love for you to live a life where you don't worry about cash anymore, right? That's what I want. Now, I'm not naive enough to think that you're not going to have other problems, but I'd rather cash not be one of those problems, right? And that's what I'm really here to do for every single member. Again, what we offer is a private membership, lifetime membership, really important there. Again, it's premium opportunities throughout that lifetime. It's a chance for you to build generational wealth. And again, you can literally start with as little as $10,000. That was very important to me because I wanted to take out every single objection from people that would be on this call. Oh, I can't come up with 25 grand, Brian. I can't start in your club. All of the excuses that have kept you living these quiet, mediocre lives of desperation. I'm going to make it to where you can't say no. You can literally try this. And if you can't, honestly, maybe take a look in the mirror. Maybe you don't want the wealth, but if you really do, this is the simplest way to execute. Of course, go to LondonReal.tv/Dubai. You can apply, book a call at the same time, and you can have that conversation with us. We can onboard people and get them KYC very fast. And the truth is, we're going to be together for the next 5, 10, 20 years, multiplying your money. And this is honestly the most powerful money-making opportunity I've ever seen. I've never seen something with these type of yields with such a low risk that had the principal backed by an underlying piece of property. And honestly, every day I'm here, I get more excited. Every day I'm here, I get more educated. Every day I'm here, I meet more developers that want to work with us. And so the deals I'm going to show you in the next 3 months, are going to blow your mind. Folks, here's that video I promised you. Go to LondonReal.tv/replay, and it'll show you how to invest in luxury Dubai real estate in 3 easy steps. And that's it, folks. I'd love to answer some questions for you. Was that helpful? Did you get something out of that? Ricardo, helpful? Kate, Nicola, Giuliano. We got Natalia in there as well. I see Benoit dropping in here. Benoit, let me see your face there. It'd be great to see you. I know we were texting as well. Folks, if you have any questions, DM me. But honestly, I think I've answered everything. I've kind of done a few of these master classes and we've gotten feedback. And so if this intrigues you and you want to dip your toe in, then we have the perfect way to do that. The touch points are myself and Zach. Zach, maybe I'll get you unmuted here really quick and maybe just to get you to say a few things. A lot of you might have either already spoken to Zach or got a message from Zach. But Zach, maybe tell them, I think I got you unmuted there. Maybe just tell them best way to contact you, email address, this kind of thing. Might do it. Let me just do one thing here. Oh, there you go.
There we are. Absolutely, folks. I hope you've enjoyed today's webinar, and it's been great to have Brian present this opportunity that isn't going to be around forever. And so best way to contact me is zach@londonreal.tv. I have spoken to a couple of you already. Yeah, contact me there. We can get you scheduled in ASAP.
Love it. And Zach will put in the main chat here, or send it to me. I'll put in your email address, zach@londonreal.tv. And yeah, he's available. Just speak to him and we can find a way to make it happen. I got a bunch of DMs for people here. asking me lots of questions. One person just said, Brian, these returns still seem really high. From your Wall Street perspective, how is that even possible? Well, this is what's going on here, folks. What you have are it's really a perfect storm. So first of all, for the first time in the last 20 years of Dubai, you've got billionaires moving here that want to live here. The other thing you have is that you have a lack of ultra luxury houses. Now, stay with me here because this isn't going to make sense to any of you, and it didn't make sense to me when I got here. This is the city of bling, right? This is the city of luxury, right? It's got the 7-star hotel, the Burj Al Arab. It's got the tallest building in the world. It's got, underwater aquariums. It's got everything. So you just assume it also has the best in high-end luxury. The truth is it doesn't. And about 5 years ago, I know billionaires that were coming here that never moved because they couldn't find a high-quality property. And so we're actually fulfilling a lack of supply in that market. That's number one. Number two, the labor's cheap in this town, okay? We get labor from all over the East here, and it's super cheap. Now, don't get me wrong, it's more money than they're ever going to make where they are, but it's super cheap compared to the UK and the US. So we buy these properties. We know there's an extra heightened demand, and we can create the finished product for multiples lower than you could in the UK, the US, or any type of a G20 country. That's where our 60% spread comes from. There's one final element that I don't like to talk about too much, but I'll share it with you right now. And that is design. You can't just have some goofball off the street design these villas. They have to be versed in the finest, Italian appliances, the Italian furniture, all of the little details. And each property has to be a one of one. You can't make 100 new Alberari villas that look the same, or you can't charge a premium. And so what I find is the developers that are really good at this are also architects and designers. They're also street savvy enough to be able to also know how to resell something. But I'm starting to learn that you just can't mass produce these things, and you just can't have some builder with a hope and a prayer to build these things. Because when true wealth walks in the house, and it could be the husband or it could be the wife, they were going to look around, and they've been staying in the finest hotels in the world. They've been staying at their friends' houses, and they're going to be like, what the hell is that? What is that? I can't have a dinner party with that in the corner. Forget about it. I'm not moving in. And so the people that win in this space is the ones that can also design it. This is good news for us because it means that there's only a certain number of people that can do this. And when I get in touch with them and when they want our media, it's going to give us access to this market just to ourselves. I think we got 3 years of hardcore runway. And by year 4, I'm going to find another way to make us money, because I'm constantly listening to everything else going on here. So trust me, when I find something new going on, I'm going to introduce that. And who knows, we might do a project. Of course, you have the choice to invest in anything you want. You're not required to. So again, everything is an opt-in basis. You can put our current deal. We got people in for 10K. We got people in for 50K. We got people in for 100K, right? And so you can choose the deal. So what I really want to do is over the next few years, I want to introduce other ways to make money. And you can have the choice, and we can trial all these things out. So that's what I'm doing. Folks, I'm here. I'm on the grounds. The episode 1 will be coming out soon, so keep an eye out for that. Zach just put his details in the main chat, and he's actually got a schedule where you can book a call straight with him. And that's really important because we really want to sit you down and find out, what's your current investment strategy? How much capital do you have in the market? What kind of returns did you get last year? You're probably not going to want to think about that because they were probably pathetic compared to 60%. We want to find out, what's your horizon? What do you want to do? When are you retiring? All these things are going to help us tell you if this is the right thing for you. And you can book that call with Zach there, or you can email him at zach@londonreal.tv. I think that's it, folks. I'm having a good time here, if you can't tell. I love learning new things. And I love being at the forefront of a really exciting market. And I also love bringing our family, our London Real family, alongside for the big wins. That's what I really enjoy. And again, we're having Investor Day here in about 2 months. So if you do join, come join us for that. It'll be fun. I'll give you my tour, and we'll go see our properties as well, the ones we've invested in and the future ones coming up as well. Until then, that's it, folks. I hope we see you on the inside. Book that call with Zach. Send us messages. And I look forward to seeing you on our next call. Take care, everybody. Bye.